Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from SegaCDUniverse.com and GravesideEntertainment.com, and this video is going to be a little different than normal. I pulled out all my Blu-rays and DVDs of Cyberpunk movies I really love, and then some okay ones that I thought were just worth mentioning. Cyberpunk is one of my favorite genres. Everyone knows about The Matrix and a couple others, but there's definitely some gems in here that I felt either most people don't know about or haven't heard of. Some of them are kind of like borderline cyberpunk, where you'd probably go, is that really a cyberpunk movie? But for my own reasons, I put them in there. So here we go. I'm going to just flash them on the screen, give you a brief summary as best as I can, or maybe a memory about it, and that's really it. I'm going to try to make this fairly quick, but I have a feeling it's going to be, maybe 30 seconds of a video that I pull. So here we go. This one's called Webmaster in America. This was it's a strange movie. It's in, I believe, it's Swedish or German. I can't recall, but it's about this bald guy who's a webmaster of this network for this like evil mastermind, and like this kind of conspiracy theory thing goes down. It's interesting because it introduced a like an alternate reality. This came out in what year? I think it was the early 90s or mid 90s. It introduces this alternate reality where you have an avatar that's you, and you have to interact with people to get access to certain parts of the network that is owned by this guy, and the guy makes money every time someone accesses his network, and he owns everything. He owns the internet, so to speak. And there's different levels of security, and this guy, like, this bald gentleman is the main character, and he kind of is like a security for it. It doesn't say a year on it. 99? It seems like it might have been before. It might have been when the DVD came out. Anyway, good movie. I think it's underrated. It's not great, but if you're looking for a decent cyberpunk movie you probably haven't seen, check out Webmaster. Pretty good. And I'll read a little funny things on the front too, because sometimes you find humorous stuff. So, no one is safe in cyber world. Next, Avalon. Avalon was done by the director Mamoru Oshii, who also did Ghost in the Shell. This is a great cyberpunk movie. I don't know why I don't have good lighting here. Hold on. Maybe that's a little bit better. A little too close, but whatever. There's Webmaster again, in case you couldn't see it well before because of the lighting. So, here is Avalon. Avalon only came out on Blu-ray in Japan, I believe, and it's very expensive, so I have the DVD. I wish I had the Blu-ray. It's a, if I remember correctly, Japanese / is it French or Polish cyberpunk movie where these teams of people go into this like other world. Excuse me, not other world. They go into a video game and they fight each other for points, and like it's kind of like that movie Gamer, which I liked, but much more serious, much darker, really cool colors, and an interesting concept about alternate realities in this other world and what's real and what isn't, and that kind of plays a part of it. The main character also, let's see if you could see her on the camera. She looks familiar to me, but I can't place her. She kind of reminds me of the girl from Twin Peaks. Babe, what was the lady's name from Twin Peaks, the actress?
Laura Dern?
No, not Laura Dern. It's Laura Palmer, but I can't think of the name of the actress. Anyway,
Dead wrapped in plastic?
Yeah, she's dead and wrapped in plastic. She kind of reminds me of her a little bit, but because it's that like ethnic kind of look. Great cyberpunk movie, awesome. It's about going into video games. So if you like games and you like cyberpunk and you like Ghost in the Shell, I think you'll dig it. One of my favorite movies of all time. This is one I don't know if I consider it completely cyberpunk. It's not. I mean, it's futuristic, most definitely. See if I can zoom out a little bit. No, it's definitely futuristic. More like a dystopia kind of thing. Very popular and was big in the 70s, I believe it was when it came out. I think it came out in the 70s, if I remember correctly. 76, I think. Brazil. So I have the Blu-ray that just came out recently. This is the Criterion release, because the single disc, or this is single disc, but the original Blu-ray release was the theatrical edition, This is the extended edition, which adds a couple nuances and some extra stuff, a few minutes here and there. Great movie. And here's the DVD Criterion Edition. This nice box. I'm not sure why there's not enough light in here right now, but this has the theatrical, the extended, and I think it's the Love Conquers All, which the ending is just really happy and sappy and stupid. So that was like there's a big documentary on here about how the studio didn't want them to release the Brazil theatrical, extended or normal edition, director's cut, because the ending was sad and like the movie takes more of a sad tone. To some degree, it's kind of a comedy, dark. It mixes a lot of stuff. It's definitely a classic. If you haven't seen Brazil, check it out. I can't say enough good things about it. Here's what I was talking about a minute ago, Gamer. Just pretty much a straight up action flick. Guy goes into a video game. It's interesting, they use sort of like a death race concept. The prisoners go into the video game, and if you beat the game or, get so many points or wins or whatever, you get released. So people are controlling you, though. You have like a chip in your head, and the prisoners are being controlled by gamers. So interesting concept, kind of goofy. Still a good movie. Gerard Butler, I really liked it. Not as good as Avalon, not as serious. This is more of like a tongue-in-cheek type of movie, but I really liked Gamers, so check that out if you like video games. Hardware. Hardware is a cyberpunk sort of horror movie. This was done by... Hold on. What is his name? Jeez, his name's not on here. Hold on. Richard Stanley, that's it. Richard Stanley does a lot of strange, kind of trippy movies. He also did Dust Devil, which was a good horror movie in the African desert, I think. But kind of cyberpunky, dark and dingy. Dylan McDermott's in it, Stacey Travis. Good movie, not one of my favorites, but it's definitely up there as a good flick. This one's just cheesy fun. Everyone knows this. Hackers with Angelina Jolie and what's his name, Johnny Lee Miller. They were married for a brief time after they made this, which is weird. This never came out on Blu-ray. I hope it does someday. It's just fun. I'm not a hacker in any way, shape, or form, but anyone who is a hacker always says this is like the most ridiculous kind of, you thought your secrets were safe. You were wrong. Like, you can't stop progress. I'm just gonna unleash him. Yeah, I said I was gonna do this and I didn't do it, huh? Brazil doesn't have anything on it, and yeah, this one doesn't. Oh, risk all that you possess. Okay, let's go forwad now. Immortal. Immortal's one that I wouldn't really consider completely cyberpunk. It was based on a comic book called Ad Vitam Immortal. It came here to America, the comic, but it's kind of a weird mix between cyberpunk, Fifth Element style, thrown in with like Egyptian gods, and like the gods are trying to come back into other people's bodies or into one gentleman's body and like live his last day because the other gods have banished him. Something to that degree. I found it to be very interesting. I've watched the movie maybe 5 or 6 times already. It's different. It's quirky. It does have some strange plot elements that, unless you read the comic, you might not get right away. And I believe the whole movie's in... initially, it's in French, I think. I think he's a French writer. So, it's in French, but it has English subtitles and English dubs. So, not a great movie. It's an acquired taste. But I really liked Immortal a lot. This one is a guilty pleasure of mine. I know it's not the best, but I think some of the ideas were great, and it's before The Matrix. So, a pulse-pounding cyber slam, Johnny Mnemonic. I love Johnny Mnemonic. I must have seen this movie 50, 60 times. Back when it came out, it was such an interesting idea, based off of the short story by William Gibson, which is a little darker. I think they should have kept some of those elements in there. They made this one a little too goofy. There's a Japanese cut that is not on the Blu-ray or the DVD, and I've seen it. It extends the movie, and it also fleshes it out a little better to where you understand it more. The American version's good, but the Japanese version's better, and that's never sadly come here at all and on Blu-ray. So, and I'm a Keanu Reeves fan as well, so that's another reason. Johnny Mnemonic, awesome. One of my favorite cyberpunk movies. This game is so advanced, it's deadly. Tron meets Blade Runner meets The Matrix, which is just funny to me. Nirvana with Christopher Lambert. This is a great Italian cyberpunk movie. This is the American version. The Italian version is uncut, has better music and subtitles, while this has dubs. It's cut up and the music is a little sparser, I guess I would say. Still great, but the Italian version is better. It's about a guy whose wife passes away and he's trying to find out, like, kind of retrace her steps, but also attain some kind of peace about her dying. And he's a hacker in this, like, underground group. Well, not an underground group, but he's a video game creator. That's what it is. He's a video game creator, and his video game gets self-aware, and it's just great. I mean, it's hard to explain, but it's also about attaining peace within yourself. Great movie. Definitely check it out. I would say if you're a Christopher Lambert fan, and if you can get the Italian version, get that. This is the one everyone's obviously heard of, The Matrix. I have the DVD collection in the back, but this is the Blu-rays. Comes with the Animatrix, and then a bonus disc and the 3 movies. If you haven't seen these, you should. Great stuff. This is kind of what blew open the sticker's annoying. This is what kind of blew open the cyberpunk scene. If you don't know what it is, it's there's an alternate universe, and what we deal with in real life is actually fake. And great movie, Keanu Reeves again. Check it out. Lots of religious references, lots of subliminal messagery, but very good movie. Very good series. The first movie I loved. It was a different idea. I wanted to go back for a second. It was a different idea, different take on things. The second was good, and the third I really liked too, but most people hated it because it kind of went off a little bit. Another one everyone's definitely heard of. Here's Tron and Tron 2, Tron Legacy. I thought it was interesting how far apart these movies were, but how it was still really good. It's about a guy that jumps into a video game, sort of like the internet, and like everything is all bright and interesting looking. There's a lot more to it. Again, I'm just trying to briefly summarize these, but classic movie, and the new one I really like too. Very interesting. 12 Monkeys. Terry Gilliam did this. This is the same gentleman who did Brazil. This is about a disease coming and killing everyone, and this group sends Bruce Willis back into the past to try and find out how to cure the disease. Great movie, one of my favorites. Another one everyone has heard of, Total Recall with Schwarzenegger. Excellent film. It's about, well, they just redid it with Colin Farrell. I wasn't a big fan of that one. It's about how they put something into Schwarzenegger's mind, and he's not who he thinks he is, but it's so hard to touch upon all these movies, especially with them being cyberpunk, because there's usually like ulterior motives and different stories. But great movie, classic. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Again, I didn't like the Colin Farrell one much, but maybe you will. I just didn't find it to be so great. Okay, Strange Days. Excellent cyberpunk film. It's about how people film people getting murdered, or maybe a sexual situation, and they jack it into your brain and are able to, you can get that feeling from watching the movie. Really cool stuff. Ralph Fiennes, I can't pronounce his name. Juliette Lewis was pretty good in it, and Angela Bassett. Check it out if you haven't seen Strange Days. Excuse me, let me pull this stack over here. We're getting there. Videodrome. This is by David Cronenberg, who also did The Fly, and he now went off into a different direction. He most recently did Cosmopolis and Eastern Promises and History of Violence, which are very different. This was his probably most famous one. It's about snuff films. That's why it looks like a VHS tape. This is the Blu-ray Criterion, and they end up. It's so weird that if you watch it more than once, you'll definitely gain other things after watching it. It's one of those ones where you watch it numerous times, and it means more each time to you. I don't know if I could even really touch upon this without sitting here for 15 minutes. So, snuff films and sort of like robot parts, alternate realities. It's just very strange. I really can't explain it in a brief sitting, so check out Videodrome. It's a classic. Scanner Darkly. This was based on one of Philip K. Dick's books. I really love this movie. They rotoscoped the whole film. Again, another Keanu Reeves one. I guess he likes cyberpunk movies too. Also has My Girlfriend, Winona Ryder, and a I really like Robert Downey Jr. and Woody Harrelson. They're in it as well. Woody Harrelson does a very funny role, so does Robert Downey Jr. And I read the book after this, and it was very, very close to the book, so I really enjoyed it. Scanner Darkly. It's not fast. It's not fast-paced. It's slow. It's thought-provoking. It's interesting. This is one I really love that everyone beats the shit out of, but I thought it was a really cool movie. Babylon AD with Vin Diesel. This made me appreciate Vin Diesel. I was never a huge fan of him until the past few years. Futuristic. He's trying to like protect this girl, and this whole like universe is in, or the world is in her hands because of whatever is happening with her, without explaining too much of it. But really good cyberpunk movie. Pretty action oriented. I thought it was very good. One you might not have heard of, Paranoia 1.0. This is Jeremy Sisto and the gentleman from Alien. What's his name? Why am I not thinking of his name? He's on the back. I can't think of his name. He's got a very like German or Russian name. He was the robot in Alien. Anyway, I don't see his name on here. Great film. The title is very, very appropriate because you feel paranoid while watching it. It's about this weird stuff happening to this guy. He's stuck in this like dingy, dirty apartment complex he lives in, and things start happening to him. And he thinks like people are chasing him and people are putting stuff in his house, and really cool stuff. Paranoia 1.0, very good. Everyone knows this. RoboCop, just interesting. I think they're remaking it right now as we speak. Futuristic RoboCop, badass, part man, part machine, all cop, and he's almost dies, or he does die, and they bring him back and make him a robot, and he kicks ass. Very good action movie. Whoa, almost had a fall there. Come on. This one I found out about on the internet, and I had never heard of it. It was very good. Johnny 2.0. This is a cyberpunk movie. I should watch this again. It's something to do with, it's kind of like Total Recall in that regard, where they take different things and they're putting them in people's heads, and you don't know who you are, and they're cloning people, and like the clones are now chasing the originals, and very interesting movie. Lots of twists. I remember there's a couple twists and I really liked. Great movie, and no one's really heard of it. So Johnny 2.0. Equilibrium, pretty cool flick with Christian Bale before he was really well known, and Tay Diggs. I always mix them up. And it's about how they're able to make people not have emotions, and they just do their job and go through their daily routine. They take pills to suppress their emotions, and lots of action, lots of like cyberpunk type of stuff. Really cool stuff. Interesting movie. This is in a 3-pack, so I don't mind the bottom 2 films, but Existence. This is another Cronenberg movie. Lots of twists and turns. You don't really know what's real. Also goes into the video game thing with virtual reality, people going into games. And it has Jennifer Jason Leigh and Jude Law. I don't know if it was before Jude Law was really popular or what, but William Dafoe's in it, and Sarah Polley. They do like smaller parts. Great movie. It's in a 3-pack, and it's on a single disc. The 3-pack actually has a better quality picture, I believe, while the audio is better on the single disc. So I just stuck with this one because I'd rather the picture, because I don't have like a nice sound system in my house. But definitely check out Existence if you like your cyberpunk strange. Get some water to... Excuse me. Dark City, great cyberpunk movie. Lots of twists and turns. I forget who did this. Oh, no, I was thinking of William Hurt. He didn't do the movie, but anyhow, great cyberpunk movie. Kiefer Sutherland's in it, and what's the other gentleman's name from the... I don't see his name on it. Either way, it's the guy with the weird eye. Over here. You definitely know him if you've seen him in other movies and stuff. Jennifer Connelly's in it. About aliens coming. These weird aliens. And I don't want to... Rufus Sewell. Sewell, is that it? I don't want to ruin it, but aliens, and they're able to switch people around and manipulate the world. They inject something into you, make you lose your memory, and then they put you in like weird predicaments, and they see how people react, and they try to understand the human mind because they want to become human. I don't want to say too much. I'll ruin that if I say too much. Cypher, a great movie by oh man, I can't remember his name. Vincenzo Natali, that's it. He also did Splice and Cube. So he actually has Cube, so I'll pull them both up at the same time. Cypher is a cool movie, like an espionage movie with Lucy Liu and this gentleman who, I can't think of his name right now. Jeremy Northam, there you go. Great, like, cyberpunk futuristic movie. You don't know who's good, who's bad. He's going undercover. Great thriller, great movie. Okay, now this one's a trilogy. First came Cube, then came Cube 2 Hypercube. I don't think Vincenzo Natali did these. I think he just did the first one. I think he sold off the license after that, but I wanted to see them anyway because... And Cube 0 is a prequel that explains Cube 1. It sort of reminds me of the video game... what's the Half-Life game? Portal. They put you in these weird predicaments, and all these people, they all have things in common, and they all have like little quirks, and they have to find their way out, but there's traps, and like little mathematician type things going on in the rooms. I'm not doing it justice, but it's really cool, futuristic movie, very like government Big Brother-ish. Great films. Check out Cube. 2 was good, but you know, goofier. The quality wasn't as good, and 0 was a pretty good prequel, but again, goofier, not as good quality. I would definitely check out the first one though. Great movies. This is one everyone's heard of. Blade Runner with Harrison Ford. I like this movie a lot. It's grown on me. When I first saw it, it wasn't my favorite, but after watching over and over and over, I've appreciated it more and more. I played the PC game. I loved it. It's sort of reminds me of, or definitely reminds me of Rise of the Dragon on the Sega CD. It's a great cyberpunk movie. He's like a detective looking for all these people that are robots and trying to track them down, and they have like a lifespan that they're going to die in if they don't, well, they're going to die anyway. But anyway, great movie. I'm not doing it justice like most of these movies, but I'm sure everyone knows of Blade Runner. That's like the most popular. And this is the final cut. They had like so many cuts over the years, and this was the, I believe, the best and most recent one. They did like a box set with it. I just had the single disc version, but great movie. Cyber Wars, aka Avatar. This was called Avatar, I think, everywhere else, and then that other movie came out, so I guess they didn't release it here with that name to confuse people. Interesting little, like, movie about, interesting movie about the internet and being able to log in through these, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like Gamer in that regard. You go in as an avatar, and it's all about these people controlling the stock markets and playing this game with the world because they're the richest people in the world, and they're able to, and this girl's like a hunter looking for people. It was interesting. I think it definitely had some good ideas. So check that out. Cyber Wars, that was pretty cool. Little low budget, but still pretty cool. This was a quirky one. Save the Green Planet. It's about aliens. Not one of my favorites. Now I'm just going into the honorable mentions category. Very weird. They think this guy is an alien and they're trying to torture him. Check it out. Lawnmower Man, about virtual reality. This has to be an honorable mention. Not one of my favorites, but I do like it a lot. The Terminator series. I have all of them on Blu-ray. Pretty cool stuff. This is the Pinocchio type movie, Puzzlehead. Very good independent film. It's won a couple awards. It's about a gentleman who makes a robot, and then the robot starts getting emotions. Swordfish. This is the, kind of Hollywood-esque version of Hackers. It's Hugh Jackman and Don Cheadle's and John Travolta and Halle Berry. Pretty cool, very unrealistic, supposedly, if you are a hacker, which I am not. But, it's fun. It's fast. Surrogates. This is the one, I believe this was a comic book series first. It's Bruce Willis. It's about robots, and I think this guy is chasing down the robots or something. I liked it a lot. THX 1138. This is, I believe, one of George Lucas's first films. I'm not a big George Lucas fan, but Robert Duvall and a couple other people are put into these weird scenarios. Like they're in these cells, and they have to work every day, and like they're very like regimented. It's almost like a robot, sort of like Equilibrium in that regard. But, like no one has emotions. That god that they pray to is like a robot, sort of thing. Interesting. Not my favorite, but interesting. Eden Log. This is a weird movie where a guy ends up waking up underground and is trying to figure out this like scientific experiment that happened. Kind of interesting. Gamebox 1.0. This is a weird like film with the girl from Topanga from Boy Meets World. It's a guy who goes into a video game and whatever you think of in real life gets sucked into the game. You have to play it to get out. It was okay, you know, fun and goofy, really goofy. Kind of reminds me of that one with Frankie Muniz. What was that one? Where he goes into the video games. Babe, what was the name of that movie with Frankie Muniz? Where he goes into the video games?
I really don't know.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of that. Pretty good. Judge Dredd, they just remade this recently with Carl Urban. This is the Stallone version. Good stuff. Really, really, really goofy and cheesy. If you like Stallone, you like cheesy. It's kind of like RoboCop, sort of. Also based on a comic book series. They did video games. When I say RoboCop, it's just like the crazy cop. It's not, he's not a robot or anything. Code Hunter with Adrian Paul. I like him a lot. Movie, sort of like futuristic virtual reality shit. Casern. This is pretty good. This was based on, I believe, an anime and I think even a manga series. Sort of weird, futuristic, Japanesey. Lots of crazy fighting and World War II type references. Decent. This I don't know if I'd consider cyberpunk, but I'll throw it in there because of the video game aspect. Brain Scan. This was big in like the, I guess it was, early 90s? Or maybe mid-90s. Edward Furlong from Terminator 2 plays this video game and all this stuff starts happening in real life and he doesn't know what's real and what's not. Cool movie, I really liked it. Ghost in the Shell. This is the 2.0 version, which includes the original and the updated stuff with the 3D thrown in. Pretty good flick. I'm not a huge anime fan. I'd say this is good. I also enjoy Vampire Hunter D, which is not cyberpunk at all. And Akira. I liked Akira. Gattaca. This was pretty good. Very slow, more of like a mystery type thriller movie. Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman. It's about, I think, they're trying to figure out in this place how to make this special gene to make people something or other. I forget if it's like live longer or something. Good movie. The Gene Generation. Really cheesy, really cheaply crap. Really cheaply crap. That was good English. Really cheaply done, kind of crappy B-movie with Bai Ling. I think she's half naked in it at one point, which no one really wants to see. It was okay. Interesting ideas. Not really such a great movie, though. She was also in Code Hunter, actually, with Adrian Paul, which is pretty funny. There she is. And there she is. So, it was okay. Kind of interesting. The film that inspired the DNA Hacker Chronicles comic book series. I think they're making a sequel if they haven't already. This one is... These are the last two. Sorry if this video has gotten kind of long. These are all just honorable mentions at this point. This was one based off a short story, or I think it was a short story, I don't think it was a full book, by William Gibson again. New Rose Hotel. People will argue whether this is cyberpunk or not. It takes place in the future, and it's about like these guys trying to get this prostitute who's played by Dario Argento's daughter, what's her name, Asia Argento, to go in and like infiltrate these people. She has her own motives and her own agenda, and they want to go in there and screw this like billionaire out of money or something. Christopher Walken's in it. The movie's very slow, very, very slow. The whole movie's just talking. There's no action, but it was an interesting idea. I think they could have done it better off the source material. And this is a real bad movie. Wow, I think it was it Australian? I think it was Australian or British. I can't remember. But my God, No Exit for the Paranoid. Narcosis. I watched this twice just to make sure I wasn't losing it. It like, you know when you're watching a movie and you're so tired that you're not sure if you're really seeing what you're seeing? Just people running around, shooting things, ending up in rave clubs and doing drugs. It's futuristic, and some of the characters are interesting looking. They're always just half naked. I don't... Really weird. It was okay. You know, if you have it on Netflix or something, maybe check it out, but Narcosis was okay. I want to say Australian. I don't remember now. Yeah, sort of, yeah. Inspired by The Matrix, Cyberpunk, manga, raves, and video games. That says it all right there. So, either way, this was my very, hopefully, quick rundown of Cyberpunk movies I A, enjoyed, and B, just got some honorable mentions that maybe people hopefully haven't heard of and maybe would want to check out now. Please let me know what Cyberpunk movies you like, if any of them are in this video or not. If they're not, please let me know because I'd love to see them. And thank you guys for watching. I know we covered a lot of ground and I didn't do anything justice by spewing out my quick synopsises, but hopefully you liked some of the stuff, or maybe it showed you some stuff you haven't checked out. It's Vampire Mike from SegaCDUniverse.com and GraveSoundEntertainment.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Be good. P.S. I forgot to mention Repo Man. Repo Man is a normal version, supposedly, of Repo, the Genetic Opera, which I didn't like because I'm not a big fan of plays and singing. This is Jude Law and Forrest Whitaker. They are organ security. When you get an organ put in you, it's usually, I think, a robotic organ, or maybe it's real, actually. I think it's real. And if you don't pay this absorbent amount of fees to get, to pay off the organ like you would a mortgage or such, then they come and repo them. Great plot twists and good music too. Interesting take on things. I really like Repo Man. This is more current, so check that out. The end.